Back in November of 2019, a new job listing appeared for a technical vegetation artist at Guerrilla Games. The posting itself outright mentioned an Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, indicating that the studio may very well be far in development and are working to add some more next-gen dressing to the game's world. This is what got everyone hyped and ready for a sequel we knew would be coming but never thought about. Sony has had a huge success with its PS4 exclusives, particularly the post-apocalyptic robot open-world RPG, Horizon Zero Dawn. The game is one of the best-selling games on the PS4, selling over 10 million copies and cementing itself as a must-have title. It's actually releasing this summer on PC on Steam, because of how big of a success it was on the console. So it would make perfect sense for Guerrilla Games to develop a sequel, right? Considering neither Sony nor Guerrilla Games has officially confirmed Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is in the works, it's hard to pin down when it'll be announced, but what we know of is it is indeed coming, and could be revealed very soon at PlayStation's own digital event either next month in May or in June. Today we've had what might be the biggest rumor of Horizon as of now, coming from a legit source. Report claims that Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't just have a massive and ambitious PS5 sequel in development, but plans for a whole trilogy. The Video Game Chronicles website, who leaked many things in the past, reports that multiple sources have told that Sony Interactive Entertainment has greenlit the series.
Go away. No, you don't.
Since Horizon Zero Dawn did extremely well, Guerrilla Games went to work on a sequel not long after the original's release. The developer was initially going to launch the title on the PS4, but since next-gen consoles are on the way, the sequel will instead release on the PS5 and maybe PC later, as is happening right now for the first game. Now, according to the sources they have, this sequel will be gigantic in scope and gameplay elements. It is said to feature a much larger world than the original, one that will allow players much more freedom in exploring and in the monsters, like new robot monster bosses, enemies, and some other for mounting and other surprises. The first Horizon didn't really limit the player on what he could mount or where he could go, so seeing it'll have even much more freedom in both exploring and mounting is pretty exciting. What was missing from the first game is definitely being on a flying robot and explore. That's not all, it is also said the sequel will have a multiplayer feature of some sort, which is something that a recent job listing seems to lend credence to. Here's a concept art of the said co-op for Horizon from the Video Game Chronicles website. Guerrilla Games had plans to develop a multiplayer function for the original Horizon, but scrapped the idea in favor of developing other parts of the game. In my opinion, it is definitely gonna be some kind of co-op experience and not a multiplayer PvP, for example, which would be totally out of place. Again, Guerrilla Games has been aggressively looking for new members in the last days, including another listing mentioning they're looking for someone that can push the boundaries of dramatic storytelling in open-world games, mentioning different stories that can last forever. Guerrilla Games is a huge team at the time of this video and could very well be working on a multiplayer project of some sort, if we're to follow another recent listing in which Guerrilla is looking for a matchmaking and multiplayer expert. Not too long ago, they were rumored to be reviving the long-dormant tactical shooting franchise SOCOM, but this talk would be for another day. Beyond these rumors, the evidence for Horizon sequels does exist. Back in 2017, the former Sony Interactive Entertainment president Sean Layden told the Telegraph website that PlayStation planned to continue Horizon Zero Dawn in the future. He also said that Guerrilla Games co-founder had a roadmap for Horizon that stretched across the years. As Aloy was one of the core pillars of Horizon Zero Dawn, I think it's safe to assume that she'll definitely be making a return. The developers also hinted at that. Perhaps she'll be a mother of selves this time around, as the theme of motherhood and destiny was a strong one throughout the entirety of the first game. Speaking to Game Informer, the art director also confirmed the sequel will have plenty more machines for Aloy to hunt, kill and mount, which also means plenty of new environments. She can't stay where she is, which is why this project is an adventure game. They also really want to introduce some kind of ecosystem where the creatures are interacting more with each other and such. Alright guys, that is all the news we have for now for Horizon 2. Make sure you drop a like if you'd like more news on it, and subscribe, or dislike if not. Thanks to Jigglyboy for being a master member on the channel. You can become a survivor member for 99 cents only. It'll support me and the channel as a whole. Thanks for watching.